Uplifting news when Christmas brought peace, jokes, crafts and fun. Let's start the show! Good morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are, Faboo crew, and welcome to Christmas!
Christmas! Woo! Yeah! Whoop, whoop! You better watch out. You better not cry. Yeah!
Hey, turn it down.
No.
Fair enough.
Christmas! Woo!
Yep, we're celebrating Christmas on today's Faboo News with fun facts, positive news, and plenty of quality journalism.
Absolute chaos.
Absolute chaos. So let's get started with our first festive feature because something horned, funky, and fierce is raising money for good causes in Whitby, England. And it's not St. Nick.
No, we're talking Krampuses. Krampi?
The 10th annual Whitby Krampus Run scared up a spooky good time on December the 7th and 8th, despite some seriously bad weather threatening to throw cold water on the event. Literally. But that didn't stop them.
Dozens of people dressed up as Krampus for the event, an Eastern European folklore creature with huge horns who is said to punish children who've been naughty over the year. It sounds scary, but these Faboo humans are doing it all in the name of fun and charity.
This year, they were raising money to combat cancer in dogs with the help of their mascot Rudy, who survived his own illness with the help of doggy chemotherapy. Over 2 very stormy nights, this gothic group stalked the streets, hosted bands, and danced through the night with ice cream. Discover more about the event and how you can help Team Rudy by visiting the links in the description below.
I'm being Krampus. Go on, give us your scariest Krampus face, Faboo crew. Ooh.
Whoa, they're scary, yeah. Oh. Did you know Christmas wasn't always celebrated on December the 25th? For 336 years, the date was up in the air. In fact, early Christians actually believed that Jesus was born in March, not December. Now, as with many things, it was the ancient Romans who set the date in stone. And it's thought they did this to match up with midwinter festivals like Yule in Northern Europe, where they were trying to convert more people to Christianity. Stay tuned for more Christmas facts later in the show. When was the first Christmas card sent? Was it A, 1066, B, 1922, C, 1560, or D, 1843? Find out later in the show. And while you're thinking about it, why not hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Faboo News every week? It really helps the channel grow and helps us to bring positive fun to more kids around the world. Boop that subscribe button like you'd boop Rudolph's red nose. What are you doing? What? I tried to wrap a Christmas present. Oh, you'd best pick that up again. Lend a hand? I literally can't. Oh. I've not thought this through. It's time for Faboo News Through History. And today is a very special Christmas tale. Back in 1914, Europe was suffering during the First World War. Millions of soldiers had dug trenches into the ground and were waiting to go and fight.
Lots of them had been told that the war would be over by Christmas. Sadly, it wasn't. And they were going to spend their Christmas fighting in a war.
And then something miraculous happened. Some soldiers started singing Christmas songs on Christmas Day. And the soldiers they were meant to be fighting began singing too. It went on and on until one by one soldiers from both sides stood up from their trenches and stepped out into the space between them, not to fight, just to celebrate Christmas.
Men from both sides swapped gifts of chocolate and other rations, showed each other pictures of their loved ones back at home, and even began playing a game of soccer out in the space called No Man's Land. For a few short minutes, there was peace instead of war.
And all because of Christmas. What do you want for Christmas, Kai?
You know what? I really want it to snow. I've never seen a white Christmas before. Not in person. I think it would be lovely.
I'll have a word with Santa. Still to come, back in time for Christmas, getting crafty with Mum, and 12 days in song. But first, what does Father Christmas call his days off? A Santa pause. Alan Kai recently headed out to the Yorkshire town of Haworth, once home to a very famous set of novel-writing sisters called the Brontes. It's a town where time seems to have stood still, with steam trains travelling the railway and Victorian cobbles still lining its main street. Let's take a short trip back to a Victorian Christmas. Oh, hi there. You've just caught me in the middle of something. Oh, when was the first Christmas card sent? The answer was D, 1843. Christmas cards were invented in Victorian England, as were many of the traditions many of us enjoy today. Christmas trees were popularized by Prince Albert. Giving presents as a tradition was moved from New Year's Day to Christmas Day. And Christmas dinner became a grand occasion for everyone, rich and poor. What's your favorite Christmas food? Did you know that male reindeer usually shed their antlers long before Christmas Day? It's the female reindeer who hold on to them well into wintertime. So if you've seen pictures and illustrations of Rudolph and his chums pulling Santa's sleigh, it's more likely that it's the girls doing the job, not the boys. Al isn't the only one cutting up small bits of paper. Let's see what Mum's up to. Hey, Mum!
Hey, Al.
So we're going to make some paper chains.
That's right. I don't know about you, but after Christmas, there's normally a massive pile of wrapping paper that you don't know what to do with. Some of it can be recycled, some of it can't. If you have wrapping paper that can't be recycled, this is a really good thing you can do with it instead. So here's one I have already made. And basically what you need to do is get yourself a variety of different patterns and colours that you're happy with. And the first stage is to get a piece of paper and cut yourself some long strips.
Okay.
So just decide about how wide you want them to be, and it doesn't matter if they're not exactly the same. We're just going for roughly here. So one thing you can do as you're cutting is to sort of slide the scissors along. If you hold the scissors, the paper taut, you can almost just slide them without even cutting very much, and that's quite a fast technique if you can get it to work. I think my strip's getting wider and wider here, but let's not worry too much. Right, so there we are. I've got one strip now, and the next thing you'll need to do is to decide how big you want the loop to be. So if you just have a little experiment with that and see what you think looks nice, then you can cut it to that size, and then you can use this piece to measure all your other pieces that you're going to do off of, and that way they will all look the same.
Now you'll need it to be slightly bigger than the loop, so that you've got a bit of excess to glue, right, Mom?
Well, I already did that, Al, you see. When I looked at the size, I overlapped it a little bit like that.
Ah.
You see? So I know that I think that's a good size, you see.
Faboo.
So here's the rest of the chain I already made. So all you need to do is to put the piece of paper through the loop, get your dry glue stick, just put a little band on one end and then put the other over like that, and then you've got another loop, and you just keep going and going like that with the different colours. After you've already made yourself a whole load of strips, that is, because what the best thing to do is to start by making lots and lots of strips, cutting them all out, and then all you need to do is just to have your little production line. You know, the kids can do the sticking part if they don't want to do the cutting part, and you can make a lovely long paper chain to go anywhere you fancy in your house, really.
Faboo. Have you noticed how many presents and gifts out there are boxed up and wrapped up in plastic? Have you noticed how many toys are made of plastic? It can be a huge problem because plastic can be hard to recycle.
A clever team of scientists at the Riken Centre for emergent matter science in Waco, Japan, have developed a new plastic that could make a huge difference. This special plastic is just as strong as the stuff we use now, but if you bury it in the ground, it breaks up and disappears, releasing phosphorus and nitrogen into the soil, both of which are useful fertilizers.
More importantly, this new plastic dissolves completely in seawater. Most plastics don't do this. They break up into tiny pieces that can be swallowed by sea life. This new plastic disappears completely. It's even recyclable. It's early days for this research, but there is hope that new materials like this will help us to eliminate waste and to clean up our oceans. On the 12th day of Christmas, Faboo gave to me 12 Faboo facts. 11 silly pratfalls. 10 fleas a jumping. 9 robots dancing. 8 bugs a crawling. 7 wolves a howling. 6 bats a numbing. 5 stupid jokes. 4 paper planes, zombies raise cash, jet fuel from poo, and good news on the TV.
Hooray!
Thanks for joining us for Christmas, Faboo crew. It's always great to see you. We'll be back on your screens in the new year with more Faboo news. So subscribe to the channel now for your weekly dose of positivity.
If you want more Faboo news, just search FABOO and join us for more uplifting news and silliness.
Hey Kai,
Yes, Al?
Merry Christmas. And Merry Christmas to you, Faboo crew. Have a wonderful time.
We wish you a Faboo Christmas. We wish you a Faboo Christmas. We wish you a Faboo Christmas and a Faboo New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Faboo Christmas and a Faboo New Year. We wish you a Faboo Christmas. We wish you a Faboo Christmas. We wish you a Faboo Christmas and a Faboo New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Faboo Christmas and a Faboo New Year.
Woo! Yeah!
Woo! Woohoo!
Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la.
Did you have a good night?
Oh, yes! There were lights and mince pies and carols and everything.
That's nice.
Oh, and I got you a present. Are you okay, Mum?
Yes, dear. You go and get ready for bed.
They gave me sugar. On this week's show, it's the week before Christmas, and all through the house we have a Chinese kitchen bringing good cheer, Charles Dickens' other Christmas story, tongue twisters, Faboo news from the past, and more. Let's start the show! Good morning, afternoon, or evening, Faboo crew, and welcome to your Faboo News. I'm Al.
And I'm Kai.
And this is the news show that gives you the good stuff, uplifting news stories and activities from around the world. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Then let's start
But
with...
not really.
What?
I wasn't born ready. Not really.
I know that. It's a figure of speech.
I was born in Caracas.
Yeah, we can tell by the accent. First, have you heard the song, Do They Know It's Christmas?
Oh, do they know it's Christmas time? It's a cracking tune now.
It sure is. It made £8 million to feed people in Ethiopia way back in 1984. But that was 40 years ago, and a lot has changed. And Ethiopia is booming.
Farming changes have led to a huge increase in the amount of wheat they grow, with farmers now producing far more than they need to feed everyone in the country. In 2022, they produced so much that 1 million tons of wheat was sold to other countries around Africa.
Poverty in Ethiopia has been cut nearly in half, and more than 6 million people now have better access to water, healthcare, education, and electricity. It's a fantastic success story for everyone involved, but there are still challenges to overcome. One thing's for sure, with hard work and determination, the people of Ethiopia are building their own way to a bright and Faboo future.
What's in your future, Faboo crew? Presents under the tree? Maybe a Christmas sweater or jumper? Here's an idea. Why don't you design your own? We drew a template you can find in the description below if you need it. Colour it in, draw your design, and ask your adult if they want to share it. Details on our website.
Oh, gosh. Oh.
You all right, Al?
Yeah, I think I just picked up a sniffle when we were out last night. What can I say? It's a big snout. Christmas jumpers and sweaters may be a tradition of today, but there are lots of weird and wonderful Christmas traditions you may not have heard of. For example, have you heard of the Yule Cat? According to Icelandic folklore, this huge house-sized cat would stalk the countryside of Iceland and eat anyone who wasn't wearing new clothes. And if you didn't want to be a fashion victim, you'd have to be sure to be gifted some new clothes before Christmas Day. Now, there are some people who say that this tradition began as a way of persuading workers to work harder, with a promise of new clothes as a gift before Christmas Day. And if you didn't work hard enough and weren't gifted gifts, the Yule Cat would come along and... What Christmas traditions do you celebrate? What did the turkey leftovers say when they were wrapped up for the fridge? Foiled again! Why are you like this? Enjoying the show, Faboo crew? Poke that like button and subscribe so we can keep on bringing you the Faboo news. You're the best crew in the world, and we love seeing you here with new episodes every week. So poke that subscribe button like it pokes Santa's belly. Make it jiggle like a bowl full of jelly.
Dad,
Yes, Guy?
doesn't Mum like Christmas?
What makes you say that?
Well, she seems sad.
Sometimes, Kai, adults can be sad. And there's nothing you've done, okay? Mum's got a lot to think about at the moment. Lots of people do round Christmas time. If they're missing someone, or if they're worried about work. Sometimes people find Christmas difficult.
But that's silly.
That's life. And I know you want Mum to enjoy Christmas as much as you do. But be patient. Be kind. And hey, maybe some of your Christmas spirit will rub off on her. Which of these was a popular Christmas food for medieval nobles in England? Was it A, goose, B, sprouts, C, peacock, or D, turkey? Keep watching for the answer later in the show. Talking of food, a Faboo couple in the city of Nanchang in China have recently expanded a community kitchen that allows hospital patients to enjoy delicious home cooking while they're recovering from illness.
Wan Cho-cheng and Hong Chen-chiang ran a restaurant and breakfast bar near the Jiangxi Cancer Hospital until the family of a patient asked to use their kitchen to cook up some cracking fresh food to take inside. Inspired by this need to provide some home comforts, the pair opened up their kitchen to other families wanting to feed relatives at the hospital.
The local government stepped in with cash to help them expand, and the local community has pitched in with pots, pans, utensils, and funds. 10,000 families now use the space every year, giving an essential and therapeutic taste of home to hundreds of patients.
In 2020, the couple were nominated for an award, but they chose to skip the ceremony to keep the kitchen open for their patients. Now that's dedication, Al.
It sure is.
Oh, that reminds me. Dad made some hot chicken soup to fight your sniffle. There you go.
Oh, ow, ow, it's hot, oh, no, it's on my pants. Ow, oh, it burns.
Feeling better?
Gabriel Grubb was an undertaker. A horrible, nasty, Christmas-hating man whose idea of fun on Christmas Eve was to sit in a graveyard and dig a grave. He hated Christmas, and he hated people, and people hated him in return. One Christmas Eve, as he was miserably digging in the frozen ground, he heard a voice. Hum, hum, hum. A little man was sitting on a gravestone, smiling in a wicked, unfriendly kind of way. He had long, thin legs and a small, round belly, and Gabriel Grubb knew instantly that this was not a human being at all. It was a goblin. And other goblins soon appeared, dancing and jumping and tumbling on all the tombstones, as if they were having some grand Christmas party. Unfortunately for Gabriel Grubb, he seemed to have been invited. Before he could stop them, the goblins grabbed his ankles and dragged him down into an underground cavern, where the Goblin King was waiting. The Goblin King was not happy. Not happy at all. He began to show Gabriel Grubb visions of a poor family who found their joy in Christmas and in spending time with each other, something that Gabriel Grubb couldn't understand. He sneered and he scoffed, and every time he did, the goblins pulled his ears and yanked his hair. He watched the family as they grew older, years passing with each new vision, showing him how love and kindness comforted them. Without even realizing it, Gabriel Grubb's cold, miserable heart began to melt. He saw that this family found happiness in their kindness and in their love for each other, and he wanted to find that too. In the last, the Goblin King showed Gabriel Grubb a scene of the world in such glory that no misery of his own could overwhelm it. And by the time that vision faded, tears were streaming down his face. Remarking finally that it was a decent sort of world after all, Gabriel Grubb fell asleep. When he opened his eyes, the cavern and the goblins were gone. It was Christmas morning, and Gabriel Grubb saw the whole world anew, and now, for the first time in his life, he wanted to explore it.
Try this tongue twister. One smart fella, he felt smart. Two smart fellas, they felt smart. Three smart fellas, they felt smart. Four smart fellas, they felt smart. Five smart fellas, they felt smart. And they all felt smart together. Got it? Now try saying it really fast. And ask your parents to, too.
Which of these was a popular medieval Christmas food for nobles in England? The answer is C. Peacock. Nobles in the medieval period back in England would often eat unusual foods like peacock, swan, or even porpoise. We don't eat those things anymore, but what's the strangest thing you might eat if you were offered it? I eat ants. Would you eat ants? What does an elf study at school? The alphabet. It's time for a brand new segment, Faboo Crew, as we celebrate Faboo News through history.
What Faboo news happened in December, Al?
Well, in 1955, a lady called Rosa Parks refused to move seats on a bus.
Why? Was she really comfy?
No, Kai. Well, possibly. But the point is, back then there were laws in certain states of America that meant that black folks weren't allowed to sit with white folks, including on buses.
That's awful.
Rosa Parks thought so too. One evening, a bus driver told a whole row of black people to move out of their seats to make way for a white person to sit down. But Rosa Parks said no, and her saying no, as well as what happened to her for doing it, started a huge movement in the USA to overthrow all those bad laws and give black people all the same rights as white folks.
One person on a bus did that.
It only takes one person to change the world, Kai.
One person and a bus.
Oh, no, the bus doesn't matter. Oh dear.
Hello, Kai.
Hello, Mum. I made you something.
Would you like to decorate the tree?
Yeah?
Do you want to hear a secret about Santa? He doesn't like cats. It's true. There's something about his big jolly tummy and his massive white beard that drives cats crazy. Last Christmas, we were delivering to a house in Merthyr Tydfil. I just put an Xbox under the tree and a trike. I was getting ready for my 1,332nd mince pie. I do like a mince pie. When I heard it, and out of the corner shot this huge orange moggy straight at Santa. Poor Santa. And there he was with his cat attached to his face. And the cat was clawing and scratching and hissing. Well, I would have helped, but I was just too busy laughing. But I didn't laugh for very long because suddenly Santa went straight for the tree. It went crash! The tree went flying, and there was pine cones and tinsel and lights everywhere, and the Santa was spinning round and round and round on the spot, still clutching at this cat. And when things quieted down and the dust settled, there was Santa, rooted to the spot, tinsel and fairy lights wrapped from the top of his hat round his big jolly tummy all the way down to his black shiny boots. The cat, its job well done, slunk off into a corner, and Santa looked at me, I looked back at him, and we knew someone must have heard. Sure enough. Someone was coming down the stairs. Santa was terrified. He couldn't be seen. So I had to do something because, well, I'm the brains of the operation. And so I got the baubles from the tree, I picked them off the floor and I started hanging them off of Santa's nose, on his ears. I even put one into his mouth. I then found the lead for the tree lights. I plugged it in and switched them on. I switched the house light off, plunging Santa into darkness. And I'm particularly proud of this, I found the angel from the top of the tree and I placed it right on the top of Santa's hat. And then I hid behind the sofa. The door creaked open, and there, silhouetted in the light, was standing little Amy Whittendale. A teddy bear tucked underneath her arm. She looked into the room, straight past Santa Tree, and she walked through the room to the kitchen. She poured herself a glass of water and then walked back past Santa to the door. Just as we thought we'd got away with it, Amy stopped. She turned around, she looked back into the room, and she said, "Night, Santa." It's a true story, that. So please, if you've got a cat, this Christmas, just lock it away in another room. Don't do it for me. Do it for Santa.
This week on your Faboo News, how bugs could soon be helping make your burgers, a huge win for the natural world, and what is squidging around at the bottom of the South China Sea. Yup, we're talking creepy crawlies on today's Faboo News. Let's start the show!
Ladies and gentlemen, they and them, capybara and anteater, prepare to be amazed as Kai's Cirque du Pouce presents Herbert, the greatest flea in the world.
Where is he? Where is he?
Ow! Ow! Herbert's gone missing!
Oh no, not Herbert. Who's Herbert?
My pet flea. He's missing.
Oh dear. I tell you what, I'll help you look for him after we finish today's show. Is that okay?
Oh, yes, Al. Oh, yes.
Good. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, Faboo crew. Welcome to your Faboo News. I'm Al.
And I'm Kai.
And this is the show that gives you positive news and activities from around the world. First up, we're heading to the South China Sea. More accurately, 12,000 feet beneath the South China Sea. That's the height of Mount Fuji in Japan, turned upside down.
Oh, that's deep. There can't be much down there.
You'd be amazed. In March 2024, they found a cucumber.
That's a funny place to eat a salad, Al. It'd get all squishy.
Not a cucumber, Kai. A cucumber.
That's not helping me, Al.
A sea cucumber. It's kind of an undersea slug.
Oh, I know about them. They're amazing. They filter sand for food. They gobble up dirty sand, then poo it out. They poo clean sand.
That's right. Divers in the South China Sea discovered a new species that they named the Chinese lantern sea cucumber, with up to 20 slimy red tentacles for slugging around on the sea floor.
Imagine that, Faboo crew! A red slug with 20 tentacles that poos sand. How fun is that? Hey, maybe you could draw us one. Maybe with glasses. Maybe with hair. Whatever you want your sluggy sea cucumber to look like. Ask a grown-up to post your picture over on Instagram with the hashtag Faboo Crew, and we'll pop it in our gallery and put it in the show.
Yeah. Did you know sea cucumbers are super useful creatures? Their chomping on sand reduces the acidity of the water around them, protecting coral reefs from acid damage. They don't have brains, hearts, or lungs, and a spawning sea cucumber can release up to 1 million eggs at one time. We discover over 2,000 new species of sea creatures every single year. And we know less about the depths of the oceans than we do about the surface of the moon.
I'm starting a piano lesson today.
A piano lesson today?
Yeah.
Right today?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah.
Yeah? What level do you want to get to? Do you want to be a proper concert pianist? Yeah? Good luck. Of course you can. Anyone can. Miranda, aged 5, sent us this fantastic painting of Kai and myself surrounded by love hearts. Faboo. Join our Faboo crew by visiting faboonews.com and you could be part of the show. Share your Faboo news by clicking on Faboo News, and let's build our Faboo News family, one positive news story at a time. You can also support the show by joining our Patreon for exclusive perks, and watch each episode a whole week before anyone else. All of this and more at faboonews.com. Now, back to the show.
A rolled up magazine, the perfect implement for flea homicide. Herbert has come to a sticky end. I knew it. I'll solve this mystery, or my name isn't May Marble.
But her name isn't May Marble. Still to come, Al visits the Butterfly House at Williamson Park, and the natural world gets a huge helping hand. But first...
What is that?
It's my detecting tash.
Is it alive?
No, Al. It's for helping me to sniff out clues. I will solve this mystery.
What mystery?
Who killed Herbert?
Wait, He's dead now?
You would know, Al. You would know. Remind me what anteaters eat.
Ants. And we're not alone in eating insects. A clever team at Better Origin in London, England, are growing insects on an industrial scale to feed to the animals we rely on. Do you want to read the autocue?
All right. A lot of the animal feed used in farming and for pets is imported from far away. Grains and meats from the other side of the planet are often used as protein for chickens, farmed fish, and dog food. These products can be very bad for the planet.
This is where the insects come in. Farmed insects are full of protein and use very little land and water to grow. They can also be fed waste that would otherwise be thrown away. You can farm them close to where they're needed too, and their discarded shells can even be turned into makeup.
Better Origin is one of the many companies developing systems to farm mealworms, crickets, and other insects for animal feed. They even produce powders and pastes that can be added to pet food. So, your chihuahua could be chowing down on insects before licking your face. Which is not something I think they're going to put in the advert.
No. Tropical rainforests are home to millions of species of insect. But seeing these wonderful animals here in the UK requires a special kind of care. Al went to visit the Butterfly House in Williamson Park, Lancaster, to see how they care for some of their beautiful tropical mini beasts. I'm here at the Butterfly House at Williamson Park in Lancaster, Lancashire. And I'm here to meet all the wonderful animals and insects who live here. Let's go have a look around. Here we have a couple of the butterflies who live here at the Butterfly House. They're eating some rotting fruit. Ew! But rotting fruit is actually really good for them to eat because it breaks down and produces more juice for them to suck up and lick up using their long, long tongues. Faboo! Here we have some radiators, and they pump warm air into the glass house here. These huge fish are common koi carp. A female koi carp can lay up to 50,000 eggs during the breeding season. That's a lot of eggs. Look, it's a heat lamp, and it's warming up this stone. But that's not for a butterfly. Oh no, that's for one of these guys over here. These are yellow-bellied slider and red-eared slider turtles. And they have a few of them here at Williamson's Park. Hey there! Do you see how his feet are all webbed? Perfect for swimming through the water. What could be living under this heat lamp? These are yellow-footed tortoises, and they're just hanging out in the warm underneath this lamp. Hey fellas, how you doing down there? I've had a Faboo time at the Butterfly House at Williamson Park in Lancaster. If you're in the area, you should come and check it out.
Politicians in Europe recently passed new laws to restore nature across millions of miles of land by 2050. The Nature Restoration Regulation,
Snappy name.
is designed to take a fifth of all land in the European Union back to its natural state by 2030. That means more trees, more grasslands, and more natural habitat for insects, birds, and other wild animals.
The aim is to get every vital ecosystem in Europe back on its feet by 2050, including in the sea. A huge return to nature and a very first law of its kind to restore nature across an entire continent.
With all the countries working together to the same rules, there's a far greater chance of success and a much, much bigger impact for nature.
A wonderful example of what we can do when we work together for the good of the planet.
Mum will be showing us how to build a bug hotel in Making with Mum this Wednesday. If you want to see how you can provide a home for creepy crawlies in your garden, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it. But first, it's time to answer the question: who killed Herbert? I'll see you upstairs in the drawing room.
We don't have a drawing room.
I have called you all here today to reveal the murderer of Herbert, my precious performing flea. One of you did this thing. Is it not true that you, Mother, were observed with a rolled-up magazine shortly before the flea was discovered missing? But that was just a cutaway. Do you deny it?
No, but
Aha!
I was tidying. I was making pudding and I needed the space.
And where is this pudding?
It disappeared.
And you? Do you deny that you were chewing and licking your lips, insect eater?
Yeah, no, you can't make me talk.
Admit it.
No.
Admit it.
Okay. I ate the pudding. It was on the side, and I was real hungry. If it helps, I slipped on some of that pudding earlier.
What? You mean there was pudding and I didn't get any? So what happened to my flea, Herbert?
for joining us for this week's Faboo News. It's been great seeing you. We'd love you to join us next week when we'll be looking at even more positive news stories from across the globe. Just search for Faboo News. That's F-A-B-O-O.
Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the show with others. And find us on all our socials to keep building the Faboo News family. You are our Faboo crew.
Until next week, stay kind, stay positive, and keep being your Faboo you.